Today I did a lower body workout and used the Unitree Pump Max for several of the exercises during the workout. So I just want to show what I did and provide a little bit of a review for using the Pump Max for lower body. The first exercise I did was a back extension. I set this up by putting a barbell in my squat rack, positioned it about the height of the top of my thighs, and then put the Pump Max in the back of the rack with a tricep rope attached to it that I could hold on to for resistance. This was part of my warm up. It was kind of the end of my warm up. Did a couple sets of 20. Felt really warm after doing it. Felt like my glutes, hamstrings, lower back were ready to go. I've done this exercise before, but I've used bands for resistance. Using the Unitree Pump Max, I really liked the way it felt. It's a lot more smooth and consistent resistance than what you get with bands where the resistance curve changes. So we'll do it this way going forward. Really liked the exercise. Next up, I wanted to do some squats, and so I moved the Pump Max to the front of my rack and hooked it onto the foot that extends out from the front. That way I could get it to a lower position and then used a belt squat belt to hook into the max. Um, on this exercise, I didn't quite feel like depth was deep enough on the squats. I'd like to squat just a little bit deeper. Um, so I'll probably try to elevate myself by standing on some wood blocks or something to do this exercise going forward. Next up, I still wanted to do some squats, and so I got out my squat wedges to stand on those. If you're not familiar with squat wedges, it's basically just a way to elevate your heels to make your squat a little more upright and more quad dominant. You can achieve the same thing by standing with your heels on 5 or 10 pound plates. Um, it just changes the shin angle. And so for the resistance on this one, I wanted to do kind of a goblet squat type of resistance. And so I used the feature of the Pump Max where I clicked the button on the side of the remote control, which turned it blue, which took away all the resistance, pulled it up into position, and then clicked it back to red to turn the resistance back on. And then I was able to squat. You can see my depth on this is much better. I'm getting a full range of motion, really working the quads. This exercise felt really good. I've done this in the past, holding a dumbbell or a kettlebell in my hands, but really liked the resistance with the Unitree Pump Max and the cable resistance, and think I'll do this a lot going forward. After all the squats, I wanted to do some hamstring work, so I set up for a cable pull through. To do this, I moved the Pump Max back to the back of my rack again. You can do this exercise using a tricep rope or a rowing handle like I'm doing here, and basically just grab the cable through your legs and stand back up. It's a really great exercise to work the glutes, hamstrings, the entire posterior chain. I wrapped up my workout by doing some core work, decided to do standing crunches. To do this, I moved the Pump Max back to the top of my squat rack and then hooked it up to an ab strap. The ab strap just lets me loop my elbows into it and then goes over my shoulders, allows me to do standing crunches. This exercise felt great. The resistance was smooth. It was strong. Really enjoyed doing this. We'll definitely include this in my workouts going forward. All right, a few final thoughts from my workout today. This was my first time using the Pump Max for a lower body workout. Couple big things. I needed to move it around a lot throughout the workout to do all the exercises that I wanted to do today, and the rack module made that easy and quick. The resistance that was fine for everything I did. I think if you are using the Pump Max for your big compound movements, squats, deadlifts, things like that, you might need a second one if you're really strong and want to do bigger resistance. But otherwise, everything was great.